Hello and welcome to ESL Revolution, everyone. I'm your content creator and professor, Dr. B. Not a real doctor. How are you today? I hope you are doing very, very well. Me too. I hope I'm doing... Am I doing very well? I think I'm doing okay. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I got my coffee in my hand. I've got Swartor on the computer making a video. It's been a minute since I've done a video. It just seems the last week or so have just been really busy. Real life stuff. It's important, so gotta stick with it. A big shout out to all of the new players in Crimson Rebels on pub side, as I've been doing some pretty hefty recruiting over the last couple of weeks. It's wonderful to have all the new players in, and if you are new and you don't know what these are for, these are in-guild videos that are designed to help new players understand certain classes at higher level and what you can do in order to get there. Of course, these videos do go out on the Reddit page. They also go out on the Swartor forums. Hello, forums. In order to provide this information to as many people as possible, which, you know, it's there. Let's use the tools to help teach newer players who are coming into the game how to get a handle on all of this stuff. The second shout out I want to make today is Merlin Swartor. Of course, his guides are the foundation for these videos, and I want to thank Merlin so much for allowing me to use his guides as the basis of these videos. He and I had a conversation some months back, and he gave me the permission to use them, so fantastic. Here they are. I do have all of the healer videos are already done. So all three healing classes are done, plus their Imperial Mirrors are all done. You can check those out in the YouTube playlist if you want. Okay, so we have the first of the tanking videos here. This is the Jedi Shadow, and this is what I'm going to be focusing on today. Video is going to have 3 sections, all right? We're going to do an overview. That's this video. Second video is going to be a utility and passives video. And the third video is going to be gear and stats and how those all kind of roll in together, amongst also some information regarding threat management. Okay, so in the healer videos, I did gear, stats, and power management. In the tanking videos, we're going to be talking about gear, stats, and threat management, and how we do that. Okay, so those are the 3 videos that are going to kind of work together in this longer series. The overview, 15-20 minutes. Class videos usually about 30 minutes, and then the third video is anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes long. So, you know, I've broken them up just because, yes, they are longer, but they're very detailed and they go into a lot of information to help you understand how to play to your very best. Okay, enough about this. Let's get into it. So the Jedi Shadow, this one right here, the Jedi Shadow is one of 3 tanking classes in the game. We have the Shadow, we have the Jedi Guardian, and we have the Trooper Vanguard. Now, I should say at the very beginning that as far as rotation goes, the Shadow is probably the more complex of the 3. Due to the need to do this. This is Kinetic Ward, and it increases our shield chance. You can see, or no, sorry, yeah, shield chance. It increases this one. Okay, so So how that fits into our rotation kind of complicates things a little bit. And also to prioritizing DPS abilities to ensure that we've got shadow protection stacks going up for us as well. Now, it's not overly complex, but it does have some complexity to it, and so that is actually something we will be talking about in a future video. However, when played well, the Shadow has the best burst mitigation. By burst mitigation, I mean that when you know that the boss is going to have a big burst of damage, what you can do is you can mitigate or negate a large part of that damage due to the skills that you have. Other tanks don't have that, so this is definitely a very good class to have that. Though that being said, the Shadows do have a little bit more squishiness than the other tank classes. Okay, so they are a little bit squishier, but on the flip side, you have a really good burst mitigation. So it's a bit of a trade-off there. There are a lot of defensive abilities. We're going to be coming into that at a later video as well. A lot of good defensive abilities that right now, as we are making this video in the 6.2 era, the 6.2 iteration, that Shadows definitely are the best class in the game for tanking, even though they are a little bit squishier than others. Now, in terms of utility and mobility, the Shadow class has a very, very good toolbox. Absolutely, for sure. They have a guard, they have a taunt, they have a 4-second hard stun, they have an 8-second soft stun, they have an additional 2-second hard stun with spinning kick, they have force slow, you have a force pull, which allows you to bring someone over into the group to kind of group everybody up. You have a force wave. You can apply a melee and a ranged accuracy and damage debuff, as well as a healing received debuff to targets. So there's a lot going on here that we bring to the table in terms of what our utility is to a fight. So it's definitely, there's a lot going on here for sure. Now, in terms of mobility, with the exception of one skill, all of our abilities are instant, and all of them can be used on the move, which is really, really handy. So yes, we have a little bit more squishiness, but then we've got all of those defensive abilities, plus we have the ability to move around quickly on the battlefield should we need to. We have a gap closer, which is this skill right here. This is Shadow Stride. This allows us to move 30 meters instantly, basically, from one side of the battlefield to the other very, very quickly. Although I must say that it can be buggy at times, although it is not as bad as it used to be. We can also use force speed, which is also another little bursty movement on the battlefield as well. So there's lots of mobility going on there too. Now, in terms of survivability, certainly the Shadows have very, very high survivability of any class in the game. They have a lot of very attractive defensive cooldowns, and those cooldowns are relatively short in duration. All right, so or short on cooldown, I should say. So we can use those to our advantage. We have resilience, which is a very, very powerful skill. This is a purge, but it also resists force and tech attacks by 200% for 5 seconds. So that in itself, it's a 1 minute cooldown, but it is a very, very potent skill indeed. Again, some of these skills specifically we're going to be talking about in another video. We have Force Cloak as well, which is great. If we do get into trouble, we can, boom, pop into stealth and escape. Let's see. The last thing I wanted to say about survivability is that Shadow DPS players can also be quite handy for an emergency tank. If something happened, let's say I was to go down for some reason and there was a Shadow DPS player, that person could step in and hold aggro for a little bit until somebody got me up to take over. So that is also that's also something that the Shadow line generally can bring to the battlefield. In terms of operations, we can basically be used in anything. I mean, there's very little that there's nothing that we can't really deal with. We are better at least in my experience, and this could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, of course. We can main tank, but I do find that the Guardian, once you are doing a one-on-one, so the boss and the tank, a one-on-one situation, it's very, very difficult to remove the boss's attention away from a Guardian tank. On the flip side, I find that sometimes the Shadow tank can lose a little bit of that focus. I don't know. Maybe I'm just doing something wrong. Shadow tanks out there, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. Now, in terms of 6.0, because we are at the kind of the beginning stages of this new 6.0 era. These usually last for quite a while. We're at 6.2, and we've been playing in the 6.0 era for about a year now. So it's these eras are fairly extensive. So if you're just coming in at 6.2 and thinking I don't have to worry about this because it'll change over soon, no, it probably won't. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Now, in terms of 5.0, the Shadow was extremely strong, and there was a little bit of nerfing in terms of some of the skills that we've had, and that involved actually the issue of force speed. Prior to 6.0, force speed was a very, very good skill because it gave us a damage absorption. So you could be standing there, hit your force speed, and you would have a 60% damage absorption. That is gone. Basically, it's pointless. That utility that made that skill work in that way doesn't exist anymore. So in that sense, it's a nerf because we've lost one of those buffs. That being said, we can certainly deal with burst mechanics still in a very, very good way based on the utilities that we have. Okay, so that's kind of the overview of the class here. Now, the next video will be dealing with passives and utilities, and video number 3 will be dealing with gear and stats and threat management. Okay, so stay tuned for those. They are coming up. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Don't forget, sub up, hit the notification button so you can know when these new videos are posted. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you. May the Force be with you.